What exactly is a no rules night, and how can you make them successful for your kids? Let's find out. What's up guys, my name is Justin and welcome back to my channel where we make little changes with huge impacts on our lives. If you are new here, I upload videos with different tips and tricks to help you improve your life, so please consider subscribing. I think every family needs to have a set of rules for their kids to follow. Rules are very important because they prepare our kids for the real world, how to socialize, and how to be disciplined. But at the same time, there are way too many rules. In bed by 8, no pop, no junk food, and the list goes on and on. About a year ago, we started having a no rules night every once in a while where, you guessed it, there weren't any rules. Our kids were free to do what they wanted, when they wanted, and we couldn't say no. They could have whatever drink they wanted. They could eat whatever food they wanted, wherever they wanted, and they could stay up as late as they wanted. And I know what you're thinking, that sounds pretty crazy, and it kind of was, but in a fun way. I want to share with you a few tips you can use when having a no rules night with your kid and why it might actually be better for you than it is for them. Alright, but before we get started, I will have to admit there are actually two rules that we follow. Number one, the activities have to be safe. We can't do anything crazy that might result in injury. And the second rule, it couldn't cost a lot of money. We can't go on a toy shopping spree and buy Disneyland, but we could spend enough money to have a good time. So if you want the night to be a success, you have to commit wholeheartedly. If you aren't ready to jump into everything they suggest, then the night will probably fall flat. At the very least, it probably won't be as great as it could be. When they request something, even if it requires energy or you being uncomfortable, dive into it with excitement. Stand up on a chair and shout, "Let's do it!" If the request is something you would normally say no to, remember, nothing is off limits on no rules night. At first, you might even need to help your kids come up with some out-of-the-box ideas that they can use on no rules night. Every other night, your kids will probably have some of the craziest requests, but when they realize there aren't any rules, they will probably draw a blank. So help them come up with some ideas. Have a list of some crazy ideas that you guys can do, like camping in the living room, watching movies and trying to pull an all-nighter, a midnight taco run, a midnight donut run. The ideas are endless, so use your imagination and run wild with them. We had to suggest to the kids that we have ice cream for dinner before they finally got the idea. And now our kids have some crazy ideas of their own. Our biggest surprise when we started doing this was that it was actually better for us than it was for them. I'm gonna be honest, it can get pretty tiring being the bad guy all the time. Turning down request after request from your children can be pretty boring, but on no rule night, you get to say yes. You start to learn what is really a crazy request versus something that might be a little treat to your kids. And the more ideas you come up with, the more ideas you have to start incorporating into your week and month. You don't have to save these crazy activities just for no rule night. You can also use them just to have fun with your kids. The second thing we found out was our kids really weren't crazy animals the next day. You might think going into this, they're gonna lose all sense of structure if you give them one night with no rules. But actually, our kids jump back into the routine as if the night never happened. But you'll soon find out that they will remember these nights more than any other night that you have. So if you aren't now, I would highly recommend you start implementing a no rule night every once in a while. It doesn't have to be a weekly thing or a monthly thing. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Just let your kids know there are no rules and nothing is off limits. I promise, you'll be surprised. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for today's video. If you found any value in this whatsoever, then please throw me a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts on no rule night. Is it something you're gonna start trying with your kids? Do you think it's too crazy to even try? Let me know. Comment down below. That rhymed. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I'm coming at you with different tips and tricks, so you don't want to miss out on any of them. And as always, let's keep growing.